the thing that's been on my mind and on my heart recently, when it comes to commercial real estate and when it comes to entrepreneurship and business in general, is the importance of relationship building, but more so than that, the importance of experiencing life on a level that uh, we feel proud of and that we're excited about. I think one thing we forget a lot of times when it comes to raising capital for commercial real estate, multifamily, single family, whatever it is, we forget that it's not just a transactional relationship, it's a transformational relationship. And what I mean by that is, yes, we're looking for capital from investors to finance deals and to close on properties, but there's a reason why people are investing, and there's a secondary motive behind just wanting extra money. Like there's an end goal behind that. And if we forget that people are trying to live a certain life and have a certain legacy for the family, for the kids, and just look at them as someone with a paycheck, it's not going to be the transformational relationship that we're looking for. So something that's been important to me as well, looking at that is I've been trying to affirm myself with the thought of I'm a man of persistence. Despite all difficulty and opposition, I press on until I win, and I never give up. And that's something that I want to encourage people with, because when it comes to commercial real estate, when it comes to business in general, it gets really tough. And we're seeing a lot of that right now too. A lot of hesitancy. There's a lot of questions, and rightfully so. There's uncertainty in the marketplace. But we as business owners and as someone who's fiduciary responsible for our people, we need to get back to the fundamentals. And something that's been on my mind recently is I think we need to quantify our doubts. What I mean by quantify our doubts is I was just working with my team this weekend, getting into Q4 of what are our goals, what are our metrics that we're looking at for the remainder of the year, looking into next year. And as a capital raiser, one thing that's important to us is how long does it take to bring an investor into a new opportunity? And the length of time doesn't necessarily matter. It's more so, are they understanding what they're investing in? Are they excited about what they're investing in? But then when we quantify those metrics, it helps us understand long term that just because you're not closing a deal every week or you have a new investor coming into your CRM every day doesn't mean that you're quote unquote failing. It just means that you need to keep working the process. So an example that I could give you is out of all of the active investors or soon to be current investors on the properties that myself and Provision Space, my company, are working on, 19% of those have been people that I've developed a relationship with between 3 months and 6 months. 19% of those people. When you go 6 months to a year, it's been about 48% of that entire group has been built within that year. And that's educating, presenting offerings, new deals, getting rejected, asking questions, and continual connecting there. And 33% of those have been over a year. So just reminding yourself that when you quantify it that way, if I don't have 200 investors coming to me this quarter, that's okay, because I know either way it's going to be a process down the line of building that relationship, helping them getting educated and understanding and nurturing that relationship. But then also just reminding ourselves again that the relationship is the most important piece. And it's not just about getting them into a new investment opportunity. It's about helping them make the lifestyle and the decisions that are going to help them get to where they need to be. But I do want to share this with you really quickly. There was a article that I listened to about a year into COVID that came from the CEO of Delta Airlines, Ed Bastian. And he talked about how in the middle of a crisis is the wrong time to establish your values. And I thought that was so good because there's so many airlines back then who were, everyone's getting furloughed, everyone's upset with the mask mandates and everything that was going on. But they were one of the few airlines that stayed strong and progressed through the crisis. They thrived through the crisis. And I think it's important to remember when it comes to building relationships and doing what we do in real estate to get back to the fundamentals of what do we stand for? Are we adhering to what we believe in? And are we really taking care of the people in a way that's honoring and respectful to them? And just remembering that we need to establish that before we get into these crisis modes and get reactionary. So that's my word for you with our investors and with raising capital for real estate.